Welcome back to PJ Chen Design. This is PJ. A lot of time the engraving is not done on the model, it's done afterward. So today I would like to use the Keyshot to show you how to put the text on it to look like an engraving so you can communicate with your client for what its final look is going to look like. Are you ready? Let's get started. When we are making a model, for example, this is simple ring band, and right here we need some engraving in there. A lot of time if you have the texting may not come out pretty good. So most of the time I will suggest to do the laser engraving or hand engraving after casting. But when we present to the client, we want them to able to see where's the engraving and how big is engraving, and has some like a embossing looking here in this rendering, for example. So today's tutorial, I would like to quickly to talk about how we're going to do this text in the Keyshot, so you don't actually need to do it in the model to show your client. So let's go back to our model. I'm not going to model this one, but just want to explain to you what I need to prepare for the Keyshot. Basically, I wanted to have a two-tone, so you need to have a two-part of the model, and for this, just for the rendering purpose, the one in the middle is just the surface, but if you're going to print it out, you need to make it into the solid, right? So I have one in a two-part in two different layers, right? Then I save it into the Rhino file. Then I am coming into the Keyshot, I'm starting from the scratch. So let me open a new file right here, and when you open the Keyshot, probably this is what you're going to see. So we want to import our file that you save into the Rhino. Make sure the Z orientation is up, and we want to click import, and quickly you are going to get your ring right here. When you have your ring, we simply just going to dump the material in there. Outside, I wanted to have some white metal looking, so I'm going to dump silver or the platinum polished material there. And for the middle one, I would like to choose this 24 karat, but brush it in 90 degrees, so we'll get something like this. And you can also change the environment. It's going to look better. I have a playlist of the rendering for all the basic. I would suggest you watch the video. I will put on the right top corner right here. You can watch the video and to know all my basic settings. But today we want to focus on the embossing. All right. So now just zooming a little bit, I kind of see there's a line right there. So I want to double click on this material and go to the texture. Here where on the U, I might want to move it a little bit so I won't see that line. Sometimes the U and V that you want to shift a little bit so you won't see that much. Or you can change the height, or you can change the width, and you can play around over here. I also create a text in the Photoshop or any of the software that you have. You just need a black and white, and I also put the logo or something look like a diamond there. And this is the things I'm going to flow over to the bottom for the text. So let's come over here, and what you wanted to do is you want to coming into the material and double click on the ring shank that you're going to apply, and we're gonna coming over here. There's a one on the right side, and you want to click on the table. And by the way, if you don't see this window right here, so let's say if you don't see anything right here, you can click on this on the bottom. It's called project, and you will see that. All right, so double click on the material, and we want to click at the label, and we want to add a label in there. So let's add the label with the texture, and we're gonna click on the image that we have there. All right, so now you can see this is look like a gumball thing over here, and also there's a orange things right here to showing you like how big of that piece, right? And definitely this is like a way too big, so we kind of need to scale it down. So what you like to do is you wanted to rotate it and holding your shift, so you will lie flat in there. And notice we have it's flattened to the surface that we want. And we also need to size it down. So if you scroll it down here, you have a scenes unit, And the ring that we have is approximately less than 20 millimeter, but this is like 99.91 millimeter. So let me scale it down to maybe 16 millimeter and see what happened. You can see now this is the text is right at the right place. But the problem is you can see that it's wrapping all the way around there. We need to do some adjustment. So coming into the bottom, you got two sides because you got one on the top, one on the bottom, right? So I'm going to uncheck on the two sides. So there will be only one side there. Okay. And I also want them to be just a little bit smaller. So let's go back to here. Maybe the text is a little bit too big. Let me change to 14. Now text is on the top and the logo is on the top too. So I actually wanted to come into the bottom so I can do a rendering with this ring stand up. It's a 3/4 view. So what we wanted to do is we want to actually coming back to our material right here, and I want to move texture. All right, so you can see I have this gumbo looking thing showing up, and I want to rotate it to the bottom with this red one. So I'm going to rotate it like this and holding my shift, so it will lock it at the 90-degree here. And once you like where it's located, you click check mark, the green check mark right there, then we'll have the text there. Okay, so now how we getting into the engraving looking is you're going to have exactly the same text in the same location and make it into a bump. So then you will have the depth. The way you're going to do that is on the right that you have this in the diffuse, and you want to hold your Alt key and moving that one to the bump right there. So really quickly, you are copy, let me zoom in bigger, that you are copy exactly the same that you have the on the diffuse for your logo and the text into the bump. All right, so what can we do with this? Now if you scroll it down to the bottom that you have the bump, if it doesn't show, just click on little triangle right here, and then on the bump currently the height is 1. All right, so if you pick up something really like a little bit taller, so I'm going to use something like 20, and you can see this is more like an embossing. I don't know if you can see that. You see the text is kind of raised up right there. We want something go inside, and then for the laser engraving it's not too deep, so let's go -30, and you can see now it's kind of engraving in like that. And this is kind of filling the color for the black color because we were using the black when we bring it in. And if you want them to be just the metal color, you want this text and logo in white color instead. So then that will be your metal color. And let me turn the background off with the lighting and just the white background. So now you have this engraving looking things for your rendering to show your client. I hope you like this video. Check out my other Keyshot rendering video on Keyshot playlist. Let me know if you like to see more of this type of quick tips. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next.